Hello. For our new project, we're doing a Great Kilt in the Mackay tartan from the Logan book. It's going to be made out of wool, Harrisville, Shetland wool, and to calculate the amount of yarn that we need, I went to the woolery and used their worksheet that I've used before and then I made a spreadsheet out of it. And so we'll just start working on this. As a 9-yard kilt, it starts with 9 yards of fabric 30 inches wide, about. At least that's what we're going to do, because our loom's only about 36 inches wide, so we'll do about 30, and then we'll cut it in half and then sew it together, and then it'll be a great kilt. That's, from what I've read, the traditional looms were less than 36 inches. So our 9-yard fabric in inches is 324. We're not going to have any hems. Shrinkage for wool, I'm guessing it's 15%. It's 48.6 inches. Take up, oh yeah, I didn't put a function in this right here because it varies according to the yarn. Then take up is probably going to be another 10%, so that's 32.4. And we're not going to have any samples, so this is calculated out to 441 inches or 12.25 yards. That's the length of each piece of yarn that's going to be used for the warp. Now for the width, it's going to be 30 inches wide, so 30, and then draw in of, let's say, I did 3 inches, so about 10%. Shrinkage of weft yarn, I did about 10% for that too, so 3. And so it's calculating it out, and I calculated 16 ends per inch. I wrapped it around a yardstick for 1 inch, the yarn. I wrapped the yarn around a yardstick for 1 inch, and then for a twill, it's 2/3 of how many threads it takes to cover 1 inch. So that's 16 ends per inch, even though online it says 12 to 15 ends per inch. That's for a plain weave. So we'll go with 16 and see how it works. So the total number of ends for 36 inches wide of warp is 576. So that's all pre-entered, and the total number of yards that we require for warp alone is 7,056 yards. Okay, so we've gotten 7,056 yards of warp for a total, and then now we need to calculate out the weft. So 36 inches wide of warp plus each weft shot. There's going to be some, as it weaves in and out, there's going to be some extra take-ups. I'll calculate 10%. So that's 39.6 inches for each weft shot. That's how much yarn I'll need for the weft shot. Then the picks per inch, or weft shots per inch, I'm calculating it at 16, but I'm not sure with a fractured beater if we'll be able to pack it or beat it tight enough to get full 50-50 twill. So, but it'll be close. I hope. Inches of weft. So for 1 inch of weaving, we're going to need 633 inches of weft. And multiply that out by 441 inches of warp from up here somewhere. There it is, right here. So the total length of warp is 441. So calculate that out, and that's 279,417 inches of yarn we'll need for the weft, and the yards will be 7,761. So the total yarn, when you add up the warp and the weft, is going to be 14,817 yards. Now there's 3 colors that we need. Green, blue, and black. I'm using spruce, cobalt, and black. That's the colors that I saw were closest that were available to me at the time I made the order. And so that's going to be 5,600 yards of green, or over about 6 to 7 cones. They'll drop a little bit because the picks per inch probably won't be full 16, it'll probably be more like 15. The blue is going to need 5 cones. That's 4,445 divided by 900 yards per cone. That's going to come out to about 5 cones. And black at 32%, and I'll explain how I came up with these. There's 100 threads of black per each pattern of 308 threads. And so that's 32% of the color is black, and so that's 32% of 14,817 is 4,741 yards of black, which is about 5-6 cones. So need to round up for the cones, because we'll need to round up for the cones. So it'll be 6 cones, 5 cones, and 7 cones. And I need to go downstairs and verify that's how much I actually ordered before I start the project. But that's how we come up with our how much to order for our Shetland wool for the Great Kilt. And at $24 a cone right now, it's kind of expensive. So 18 cones times $24 per cone, that's $432 right now. It was cheaper when we ordered the wool. We ordered at the beginning of the year after shearing, when there's more wool available. Right now at the end of the year, there's not as much available because it's all been sold out, and you can't just tell a sheep to grow more. You have to do it, wait for them to grow it, and shear it at the end of winter or early spring. So that's the video on our warp weft calculation worksheet. Thank you for watching. Bye.